This Rev3 Games episode is brought to you by Ting, mobile that makes sense.
I don't know who and who does not have breasts because I've never even looked.
Nick doesn't see breasts.
I don't. I'm breast blind.
So PAX is next week.
Oh yeah.
This is your first PAX?
This is my first PAX.
It's hard to believe.
I've never been to any of the PAXs. Ever. Have you been? How many have you been to? And how many have you been to?
One.
Oh, I've been to 4. Like I always say, conventions like PAX restore your faith in humanity because people are never dicks to you in person the way that they are online.
Right. Like all of our YouTube comments are terrible.
Yeah.
But when you go to PAX and you actually meet people, they're super great.
Everyone's
it's a bit of an
really
exaggeration.
friendly. It's a good atmosphere.
So the funny thing though is that like the only times I've ever been recognized, it's like usually at industry stuff. But when it happens, there's always a fucking voice in the back of my head that's like, this might have been someone who left a shitty comment at one point. Like, statistically, one of the people who are like, oh my god, it's nice to meet you, were probably like,
no, it was though, and we're sure of it because, you know, there was a moment where I was talking to Cisco and he had like a confession of like, you know, I think I used to be one of the bad YouTube commenters. And I was like, wow, it's really important that you were able to confess that.
Thank you for coming out to me.
That's
yeah,
super
it's
funny.
like a really touching moment.
And, maybe this is getting too like philosophical about the nature of internet video, but I think part of why negative comments don't bother me is for sort of the same reason, which is that I used to be a shitty internet commenter. Right. I grew up in that era. Like,
I feel like everyone has left a mean comment online. Never, maybe not on YouTube, but like somewhere you have. Yeah. And usually it's at a point in your life where you're just pissed off about something else and you're like, man, I'm so mad about this other thing, but this also mildly annoys me, so I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, the thing that you're yelling at is never really the thing deep down inside that is where your fury comes from.
You know what, it's like leaving comments is like really, like angry comments is really similar to like road rage when you're in your car, no one can really hear you, and you're just like swearing at other drivers who are doing a terrible job. Right. You know, every now and then you get really angry and you're like trying to flip the guy off, whatever, in the car in front of you. But most of the time you're just like, God, what the fuck? This guy's a shitty ass driver. Right. I feel like that's like most bad YouTube comments are like that.
Sure.
Well, the point is, people are really nice at PAX.
Yes.
And now that you've become more of a face on Rev3 Games, you're gonna get some attention.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that
they're gonna say, where's Tara?
Well, there's that. But there's also the fact that I look like literally every single other dude in this industry.
No,
I am another white dude with dark hair. There's no...
You have a distinctive face, though. You'll do fine. And you're going to be on panels and stuff, too?
Sure, yeah. So let's talk about that, right? So you are going to be on a Women in Games panel on Friday?
Women surviving and thriving in games media.
Those are good choices of words.
Yeah, I'm going to be the least famous person there, which is kind of exciting, because I'll get to be on a panel with people that I actually look up to.
Nice.
So you're in the surviving category.
Yes, I have not yet found out how to thrive.
We're working towards the thriving.
And then I'm also doing, I guess, as of like 5 minutes ago, the Hunger Games
It's Danny O'Dwyer from GameSpot's panel. It's called the the Games Journalism Hunger Games, where we're going to be competing against other members of the games press in a gauntlet of various local multiplayer competitive video games. He's been very cagey about the details, I think deliberately, but that's going to be super fun.
What do we get if we win?
$100,000.
Really?
Yes, of GameSpot bucks. It's not real money.
I'll take it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's basically just Monopoly money, but with Danny O'Dwyer's face on it. But that's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. And then also we're also just going to be walking the floor, hanging out with people, playing some video games.
Max Wink, you're going to be attending the League of Legends tournament.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about that.
Yeah.
That should be really fun. I have never been to one before. I've been to a few MLGs and I've watched League of Legends in person before, but this is on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty pumped.
How would you say this compares to something like the International? Where does this, is this League's International? Is this smaller?
Well, I mean, League is kind of more spread out through the year, whereas like the International, is like there's a bunch of qualifier, matches and tournaments that I guess you could say like are taking place throughout the year, and then there's this one like huge like in-person event that you go to. So yeah,
I feel like there's a lot more tournaments at PAX this year than there have been in previous years, because they're doing League of Legends. They're also doing that Street Fighter 4 one. I think there's also going to be like a Smash Brothers competition.
Yeah, it seems like a good place for that, right? Like if you want to have something that's like an informalized Evo, or just you have a bunch of people who care about games in the same place, it seems like a good place to take advantage of that sort of mass and that momentum and just turn it into micro tournaments springing up all over the place. I remember last year I was bummed that I didn't get to go to, I think it was PAX maybe this was 2 years ago, but PopCap was having a thing for Bejeweled Blitz, which I love very dearly. Like there was a moment in my life where I was super addicted to Bejeweled Blitz, and I was like, I would love to go compete and play Bejeweled Blitz against people in person, but I couldn't make it. But this should be fun. Like, there's some stuff I'm excited to see. I'm pumped to see Geometry Wars 3. That's an appointment that I just booked today. That I'm
I didn't even know that was going to be in PAX.
I love the indie booth.
Indie Mega Booth.
Indie Mega Booth at PAX is so freaking great.
Yeah.
And that's actually, so like my favorite part about PAX is like, there are very few like big announcements. Like there's some that that come out and stuff, like some things they save. But most of the announcements are kind of like already been made. Most of the games we're like aware of or have already been announced. And so it's like all these like littler, like I guess all the details that I've kind of missed because of the other games kind of taking the spotlight. I can like kind of focus on, including like board games, like which is a huge part of PAX.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be really
let's do
cool.
Some stuff with that for sure. We need to go visit the board game zone.
Yeah, there's a whole board game area, and but yeah, the Indie Mega Booth is so great, and all the people. It's always like a mad scene actually. It's kind of one of the most crowded areas of PAX because so many people are going through it. But everyone's so excited, like. All the developers, it's like that is their E3. Like it's basically the indie E3 almost, and so they're just so pumped to talk to you about their game that they've been working on.
That's tight. And I feel like it's growing each year. It's getting bigger and getting more floor space.
Yeah, it is.
Are there any specific games that either of you are looking forward to seeing?
I'm looking forward to seeing Tales from the Borderlands, the Telltale game.
Yeah, that's gonna be playable, right?
I'm really it's gonna be playable. I'm really curious how it's gonna be because. The Borderlands series is very tongue-in-cheek and humorous, whereas Telltale has mostly done a lot of like serious drama stuff.
At least lately, right? But if you think about Telltale before Walking Dead, like Sam and Max, the Homestar Runner games, like their background before they kind of blew up was kind of comedy adventure games. So I would like to think that they're excited to get back into that realm. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic about it. I don't know about you.
That's probably what I'm most excited to see.
And then I think there are a few surprises that like haven't been announced yet. I know it's not the big like announcement show.
Saints Row 5.
Yeah, there's rumors of a Saints Row 5 maybe. There's a lot of secrets. I don't know. I'm just pumped. I'm glad that like we're going in with less of a super structured plan than something like E3. Like, the fact that we have huge gaps in our schedule to just walk around, play whatever we stumble onto, hang out with like everyone who's there.
Find some really cool unique stuff.
Yeah. If it's the celebration of the industry that I'm imagining PAX has always been, then I'm going to have a kick-ass time.
Yeah.
Allow me to give you one piece of advice.
Yeah.
Since it is your first time, don't sit on the beanbags.
Yeah. Oh, don't.
Don't even touch them.
Don't.
Okay, that's good. I might have.
You will see other people sitting in them, and they will look comfortable.
You will be tempted.
Don't.
I can't figure out why. What?
I cannot stress this enough.
Do it.
Are there like?
You don't want to know what's inside them.
Is it farts? Is it a fart trap?
That'll be the best thing that's inside of it.
Best case scenario, it's just farts.
Yeah.
But how am I supposed to street pass with people?
You can just stand.
Stand near them.
Sit on the floor. Anything is better. Yep. Sit on the toilet. That will be better still.
Lying on the sidewalk naked would be better.
Jeez. All right, you officially scared me. I will not touch the beanbag.
Disease bag.
Not even if I really want to.
Anyone with a cell phone knows just how expensive they can be to maintain. Most carriers come with hidden fees, little to no customer service, and they charge an insane amount of money regardless of how much data you actually use. But not Ting. Ting is a new cell phone service that only charges you for the data you actually use. It supports an unlimited number of devices, including the ones you already own, and best of all, their customer service is top-notch. Never again will you be forced to talk to a series of robots. No matter what time of day you call, you'll get a real live human on the other line. And did we mention that it's cheap? The average Ting customer pays only $21 a month for one device. Head over to rev3games.ting.com and click on their savings calculator to see just how much money Ting can save you. That URL will also get you $25 off your first bill, and remember, every sign up helps support Rev3 Games and puts money back in your wallet.